For centuries, a single diamond passed from hand to hand. Admire it.
He who owns this diamond will own the world, but will also know all its misfortunes. Only God or a woman can wear it with impunity. It is the most famous rock in human history. A stone that has blinded kings, destroyed dynasties, and triggered wars across 3 centuries. Today, it sits behind bomb-proof glass in the Tower of London, a crown jewel of the British Monarchy. But here's the question that refuses to die. How did it get there? Most people think it was simply stolen in the heat of battle. They are wrong. The theft of the Kohinoor wasn't done with a sword. It was done with a pen. It was the result of a geopolitical loophole, a legal trap set for a 10-year-old boy that changed history forever. In this video, we aren't just tracing a diamond. We are tracing the perfect crime. To understand the loophole, we first have to understand the prize. The Kohinoor, regionally much larger, was mined in the Collier mine of India thousands of years ago. In ancient Sanskrit texts, it was potentially the Syamantaka, the divine gem of the sun god. For generations, it rested on the peacock throne of the Mughal Empire. It was the eye of the peacock, symbol of absolute dominance. But as the Mughal Empire fractured in the 1700s, the sharks began to circle. Enter Nader Shah, the Persian conqueror. In 1739, he sacked Delhi. He took the gold, the throne, and the elephants. But the diamond was missing. Legend tells us of the first great trick in the diamond's history. A member of the emperor's harem betrayed him, whispering to Nader Shah that the diamond was hidden in the emperor's turban. Nadir Shah, feigning friendship, proposed a traditional exchange of turbans to seal a peace treaty. The emperor, trapped by custom, had to hand it over. Later that night, Nader Shah unraveled the turban and the gem rolled out. He cried out, "Kohinoor," Persian for Mountain of Light. But the curse was real. Nader Shah was assassinated by his own guards. The diamond passed to his Afghan bodyguard, continuing a trail of blood through Afghanistan, where kings were blinded with hot needles just for possessing it. By the early 19th century, the diamond returned to India, claimed by the Lion of Punjab, Maharaja Ranjit Singh. He wore the Kohinoor on his armlet, a symbol that India was strong, united, and unbowed by the British Empire encroaching from the south. But in 1839, the lion died. The Sikh Empire collapsed into chaos. 4 different rulers were killed in just 4 years. Emerging from the dust was the new Maharaja, Dulip Singh. He was just a child, 5 years old when he took the throne. The British East India Company, led by the ruthless Governor-General Lord Dalhousie, saw their moment. They didn't want to look like conquerors. They wanted to look like protectors. They engaged in the Anglo-Sikh Wars, eventually crushing the Sikh army. But they couldn't just loot the diamond. That would look like common theft in the eyes of the world. They needed a legal loophole. They needed Dulip Singh to give it to them. Here lies the crux of the controversy. In 1849, the British forced the now 10-year-old king Dulip Singh into a meeting. He was separated from his mother, surrounded by British diplomats and soldiers. They presented him with the Treaty of Lahore. Article 3 of the treaty read, "The gem called the Kohinoor shall be surrendered by the Maharaja of Lahore to the Queen of England." Do you see the loophole? By forcing the child king to sign a peace treaty, the British argued that the diamond wasn't stolen loot. It was a surrender, a legal transaction, a gift from one monarch to another. The British took the boy's kingdom, his mother, and his diamond. Dulep Singh would eventually be exiled to England, converted to Christianity, and live as a pet aristocrat of Queen Victoria, often forced to look at the very diamond that was taken from him. The diamond was shipped to England in secrecy. But when it was unveiled at the Great Exhibition of 1851, the British public was disappointed. They were used to modern symmetrical cuts, as the Kohinoor was an ancient Mughal-cut lumpy, not very sparkly, designed to preserve weight, not refract light. The press mocked it, calling it a piece of dull glass. Prince Albert, Queen Victoria's husband, was embarrassed. He ordered the stone to be recut. In a tragic irony, to make the diamond suit British tastes, they destroyed 42% of it. They shaved it down from 186 carats to the 105.6 carats it is today. They literally cut away the history to make it shine. But the curse of the text remained. Only God or a woman can wear it with impunity. The British royal family took this seriously. No king has ever worn the Kohinoor in his crown. It has only ever been set in the crowns of queens. Queen Alexandra, Queen Mary, and finally, the Queen Mother. Today, the Kohinoor sits in the Maltese cross of the Queen Mother's crown. India, Pakistan, Iran, and Afghanistan have all demanded its return. The British government's response has remained the same for over 150 years. It was not stolen. It was signed over in the Treaty of Lahore. They hold on to the loophole. So, is it a legitimate spoil of war, legal by the standards of 1849? Or is it a symbol of colonial coercion, a contract, signed by a frightened child with a gun to his head? History is written by the victors, but the Kohinoor remains a shining, silent witness to the truth. What do you think? Does a legal treaty count if the signer is 10 years old? Tell us in the comments below.